Hey everybody, my name is Constantine and I wanted to give you 7 tips for writing an effective letter to your lawmaker. Tip number 1. Start with writing the legislators for whom you can vote. Okay, this is very important because elected officials are very interested in what people have to say, especially if those people are voting for them. So they're very, very interested to hear from you if you live in their district. Okay? Occasionally, it might be useful to write to a committee chair or to another influential figure in the government, even if they do not represent your district or your state. Tip number 2, address your letter correctly. This should be a no-brainer. Please have the correct address and salutation, okay? When addressing a congressman, when writing a letter to a lawmaker, make sure that you have a correct salutation so your letter looks professional. Otherwise, it will be discarded as junk mail. So when addressing the envelope and the letter, always refer to your legislator as the Honorable and then followed by the name. And in the salutation, write Dear Senator, or Dear Congressman, or Dear Congresswoman. You can also use Dear Representative if you're contacting a state representative, Dear Assemblyman, or Dear Assemblywoman, depending on the gender. So that way your message looks professional and your letter will be directed appropriately without getting discarded. Tip number 3, address only one issue per letter. A letter addressing only one issue will have a much bigger impact and will receive a much quicker response rather than something that tackles multiple issues. And you always remember that these letters, especially government letters, they get sorted and organized into topics and then they get forwarded to appropriate personnel that handles different topics. So if you have one issue per letter, it'll actually go to the appropriate person. But if you have multiple issues in a letter, it might get lost and not go to the right person. So one issue per letter. Tip number 4, keep it short. To make sure that your letter is read rather than skimmed, make your points quickly and concisely. Remember that government officials and people that work for them do not have a lot of free time. So every second counts and you want to get your point across as quickly as possible. Tip number 5, ask for something specific. Ask the legislator or the senator to take a particular action, such as co-sponsoring a bill or taking a leadership role on an issue. Ask them to state their position on an issue and always ask for a letter of response. Initiate dialogue if possible. You want to be able to discuss multiple issues and you want to be taken seriously when you do so. Tip number 6, include the return address on your letter. By including the address on the letter and on the letter envelope, all readers will know that you're a constituent, that you live in their district, and they will know what address to send their responses to. It is very important to be identified as a real human being and not as a bot. Tip number 7, follow up. Follow up, follow up, follow up. Follow-up letters often have a much bigger impact than the initial piece of communication. So always follow up. Thank the legislator for taking a correct stand, or if you have any other questions that you wanted to ask or clarifications or something, it'd be a good chance to ask. So if you found these tips helpful, by all means, please comment, like, subscribe. If you guys have other ideas, by all means, leave me a comment. Once again, this is Constantine, and I'll see you soon.